Are you looking for the best Bluetooth speakers? In this video we will look at some of the best Bluetooth speakers on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Bose SoundLink Max. The Bose SoundLink Max ticked all my boxes. Bose designs typically focus on a somewhat rugged aesthetic, and that branding is definitely on display here. Its boombox build is built to resist bumps and scrapes, but visually, it doesn't hold a visual candle to the Marshall Middleton, my mid-range pick. Still, the rugged build is what helped cement it as a top pick, as I dropped it and it didn't show any marks. The speaker offers a convenient detachable rope handle, which made it easy to move around my home. If you want, you can add a shoulder strap, though that's sold separately for an extra $45. The carry handle suffices, and you'll need it. This speaker is 4.8 pounds, which is heavy for a portable speaker. Buttons on the top are easy to find and use, too. Its stereo sound is exemplary, basses sound deep, mids and trebles balance wonderfully. One of my favorite examples of just how this speaker delivers is with Ashnikos Daisy, which at the very beginning hits deep basses that I've found is difficult for speakers to play properly. The Bose hits this bass note with ease, while balancing the rest of the frequencies. For context, only a handful of Bluetooth speakers I tested hit that particular note. Bose's app is one of the best around, with easy-to-use controls and simple EQ software. You don't get any presets, but you can adjust each frequency. I missed presets, but at least Bose makes it simple to tune your music to your preferences. The stereo only faces in one direction, but even so, still had robust audio that rivaled 360-degree speakers. Another feature that sets this speaker apart from the pack? Its IP67 waterproof rating, which is great for pool parties, but it's the fact that it floats that really wowed me. During a briefing, one of the Bose representatives tied a rope to its strap and threw the speaker smack dab into the middle of a pool. On the other hand, don't expect it to float and play music. The speaker faces downward into the water, so you'll get no audio. That said, it won't sink to the bottom of the ocean, so that's great peace of mind for beach parties. Battery life gets you around 20 hours on a charge. Keep in mind that you'll need to keep the original Bose cord, as it won't charge with other cables, based on my testing. Even so, the speaker can charge your phone using any USB-C cable. It's pricier compared to the other options on this list, but for that $400 price tag, its extra features make it worth that splurge. At number 2. Anker Soundcore Select 4 Go. The Anker Soundcore Select 4 Go surpassed my expectations. Just larger than the palm of my hand, it has a strap hook to carry it via a carabiner. It only has a few buttons: play, pause, power, Bluetooth and volume. On the corner, you'll find a single USB-C port with a silicone cover to block moisture. It can be placed horizontally or vertically with the help of 4 little feet on the bottom, which is a nice, unexpected feature. To be clear, this isn't the best Bluetooth speaker I tested for audio quality. Even with bass boost on, the lower frequencies simply can't match that of its more expensive competitors. However, at this price point, the fact that it can hit as many of the frequencies as does is pretty darn impressive, and the quality is adequate for casual listeners. Soundcore has built a reputation for creating quality audio equipment for a fraction of the price. Once again, Anker hits the bullseye with this tiny speaker that's less than $50. Be sure that you play around with the EQ's odds, or you'll want to toss on the bass boost EQ over the Soundcore signature sound EQ. That said, it's impressive that given this price point, it even has EQ presets. Other speakers in this price range that I tested don't offer any. Remember Ashnikos Daisy I mentioned I tested with Bose? The Select 4 Go can't quite hit those bass notes, and they sound a couple notes higher than they should. That's a problem for me. The 20-hour battery life is impressive, but during testing, it fell a hair short. It's not a big a deal, considering that it's unlikely that you'll play it for 20 continuous hours. It's also a nice perk that it comes with IP67 waterproofing, and after tossing it in my kitchen sink filled with water, I can confirm it floats. It's easy to connect 2 speakers to make a more robust sound profile, too, thanks to the Soundcore software. During testing, they synced up nicely. Because it's less than $50, it's also great for teens and kids that want a speaker but you're concerned about them getting tossed around. Overall, it's simply impressive that Anker managed to pack all of these features plus a decent audio into such a compact, affordable package. At number 3. Marshall Emberton III. The Marshall Emberton III is the best small Bluetooth speaker you can get right now. Sure, the Anker Soundcore Select 4 Go is smaller, but at that size, you're sacrificing some bass and lower frequencies. The Marshall Emberton III is a little bigger, and the boxy shape makes it easy to tuck into a bag or place it literally anywhere. On top, you'll find a few buttons, including a volume control and a toggle that you move to the left and right for forward and rewind. Admittedly, it takes some getting used to. I usually prefer colors other than black, but this design is simply lovely, giving me some serious nostalgia for my father's vintage stereo speakers. The EQs and audio quality sound on par with its sibling, the Marshall Middleton, and regarding lower frequencies, the Middleton edges it out. The bass is simply more powerful on the Middleton. Still, it can more than deliver lower frequencies and make them sound good. It doesn't offer many EQ presets. Choose between the signature Marshall Push, which is essentially the dynamic mode, or Voice for your podcasts. I was disappointed that I can't customize EQ, but it does a good job maintaining a rounded listening profile nonetheless. The sound passes through bidirectionally for 360-degree audio, which the company calls true stereophonic audio. It does a solid job filling my living room, including when I sit far away from it. The battery lasts up to 32 hours, which I was able to get in my own testing as long as I kept the volume on a medium setting. Like others on this list, it's rated for IP67 so it can handle outdoor elements or pool parties. There's no strap, but you can add your own thanks to a slot on the corner. Don't expect any Smart Assistant compatibility, but the app is fairly straightforward. You can also elongate the lifespan in the app with small changes, like only charging to 95% and invoking adaptive charging. At number 4. Brane Audio Brane X. I first heard about the Brane X through word of mouth, when a colleague insisted I needed to make an appointment to see this new speaker at CES 2024. Not one to miss out on innovative audio technologies, I snuck in a last-minute appointment with the Brane team and it was one of the best choices I've made at any CES show to date. That's because the technology behind it is truly innovative. The company spent years redesigning the subwoofer blueprint, eventually landing on the magnetized Repellitrack driver, RAD, subwoofer blueprint. Its speaker, the Brane X, currently uses, and it produces staggeringly great sound. The Brane X's subwoofer, simply put, is one of the most powerful bass-focused Bluetooth speakers on the market. It blew almost every other speaker I tested out of the water for the raw power its subwoofers deliver. If you're worried about the bass being too powerful, you can choose from 3 levels of bass to customize your listening experience. Even then, it's pretty powerful, but I'm a fan as there have been plenty of times these frequencies sound muddled or get lost in the mix. Also, be prepared to feel the bass shaking every surface around where this speaker gets placed, which to me only enhanced the party. If you are mindful of your neighbors, this might not be the speaker for you. You simply won't be able to draw on its raw power, and to me, as an apartment dweller, that's a disappointment. Press the power, and you'll hear a buzzing sound to confirm that the speaker is turning on. It also does this when it turns off. You can connect it to Amazon Alexa, just make sure you take the time to set it up and log in, which can be tricky as my unit took a few tries. It's also Apple AirPlay compatible. For the audio quality, I ended up finagling the EQ for a custom setting. Don't get me wrong, it sounds pretty good out of the box, but I usually tweak any speaker to get the sound I crave. Get 2, and you can pair them together, too. There are some drawbacks to the Brane X that are worth noting. It doesn't use USB-C for charging. This surprised me as every other Bluetooth speaker I tested offers this universal charging, and it makes it more difficult to charge if it runs low on battery. That leads me to my next point. Make sure that you charge your speaker the night before, since I found that the battery tends to drain over time even when you're not using it. A few times, I tried to turn it on and found the battery had depleted itself. And of course, it's heavy thanks to that lovely subwoofer. The carry handle is nice, but I personally wouldn't take this speaker with me for a day at the beach. At number 5. JBL Charge 6. The JBL Charge 6 has a blatantly rugged build. On one hand, it's drop resistant, so it's going to withstand a ton of bumps and scrapes. It's so sturdy that JBL jokingly recommends on its company website not tossing the speaker around to impress your friends, and there's a certain degree of truth to that claim. My cat decided to test this for me by knocking it off a desk, and it still looks brand new. It's rated IP68 for water and dustproofing, and it can handle a 1 meter drop to concrete with ease. The speaker's rubber feet help it stay firmly in place on most surfaces, and on the top, there's 2 grooves where a removable carry handle can lock into place. The strap is easy to add and remove, too. It makes it easy to carry around and set on most surfaces, and because it's more lightweight compared to other speakers I tested, that helps cement its winner in the portable Bluetooth speakers category. If you're seeking an intuitive app, the JBL app was among the easiest I tested across all brands. Make sure you download the correct app. There's the JBL Portable app, which is for Bluetooth speakers, and the JBL Headphones app, which is for their headphones, and they look similar in the App Store. It's easy to connect and there's virtually no learning curve when you want to adjust the EQs. Choose from the JBL Signature, Chill, Energetic, Vocal or Custom. I personally recommend Energetic since it gives the music extra vibrancy, and the audio quality is pretty good out of the box. There's an AI boost feature that I felt made the music a little tinny, so I opted not to use it. I found some of the presets to be lacking. For example, I thought Chill muddled the quality too much for my taste. JBL Charge 6 top view showing buttons and carry handle. Along with an easily removable carry handle, you'll find intuitive buttons on the top of the speaker, including the AI boost feature. Rebecca Isaacs. Battery life is pretty solid. It can go up to 24 hours on a charge, with its playtime boost eking out another 4 hours in a pinch for a total of 28 hours. It takes up to 3 hours to charge, and you can also see battery life at a glance on the app's homepage, which was nice. You can connect to second JBL Charge 6, too, but don't expect to connect with just any JBL speaker. I couldn't get that feature to work with my JBL Flip 7, for example, despite the claim you can pair multiple Bluetooth speakers for a stereo sound with its Auracast technology. One more thing to note, a 10-minute charge gets you up to 150 minutes of playtime. But the final feature that makes it a worthy pick for portability? You can use the Charge 6 to charge your phone in a pinch. If you are prone to running low on battery, make sure you pack a USB-C cable for peace of mind. The speaker doesn't come with its own. At number 6. Marshall Middleton. Bose may have landed at the top of the list, but that's because in addition to making good quality audio, it knows how to make a rugged speaker. Marshall, on the other hand, knows how to up the ante with aesthetics. Like the Emberton III, the Marshall Middleton has a metallic mesh design. The lighter cream hue I received also gives off the vintage vibes with which I'm obsessed. For the aesthetic alone, this was my favorite speaker. You also get a strap to help carry the speaker, but it's placed on the corner and feels counterintuitive. I don't want to swing my 4-pound Bluetooth speaker around, and it would have been nice to have a detachable carry handle. Ultimately, I kept it stationary. The app's EQ presets leave a little to be desired for those that may not be as familiar with EQs. You can adjust bass and treble frequencies, but that's it. You don't get any EQ presets, which I found disappointing. That's not to say that the audio needs adjustments. This speaker sounds so rich that during my testing, I didn't feel the need to adjust either EQ frequency. You can shift between tracks in the app, which was nice if I didn't feel like opening up Spotify. It's also cool that Marshall added EQ adjustments right on the top of the speaker to make adjustments on the fly. It was one of only 4 speakers in which I could distinctly hear the baritone saxophone blending alongside other instruments during fits and the tantrums I just want to shine, and, more importantly, I could hear the musical notes well. That's a huge distinction, as some speakers I tested made that particular instrument sound like a squawking parrot. The same went for tracks like My Myler Enemy by Stromae and Poem, where some speakers muddled the layers. The Middleton balanced them beautifully. Out of all the Bluetooth speakers I tested, this one was my favorite if I was testing solely based on audio quality. It sounds significantly more expensive than it costs. The speaker's battery life isn't as robust as I would have liked, as it only gets around 20 hours of playtime. 20 minutes of charging can get you another 2 hours, which is lower than the JBL Charge 6, but it's still solid if you're in a pinch. Like the Bose SoundLink Max and the JBL Charge 6, you can also charge your phone from this speaker, too. It's also important to note that unlike the Bose SoundLink Max, this speaker doesn't float in water, but it's protected against water and dust with an IP67 rating. At number 7. Bang & Olufsen Beosound A5. If you value a premium audio quality above all else, the Bang & Olufsen Beosound A5 is the one you should buy. The Bluetooth speaker costs an eye-watering $1,550, but for that premium price, it has a lot going for it. The unit I tested featured gorgeous wood paneling that fit nicely on my vintage 1900s leather top desk, not to mention in my modern kitchen. If you're not keen on a wood finish, there is also a rattan, called Nordic Weave, and a silver modern look, too. The charge port is on the back but controls are conveniently placed on top, just make sure that you turn it off. The speaker only turns off after 90 minutes of inactivity, and there were a few times I forgot to turn it off and later found the speaker dead. You can disable this in the app. Still, its audio quality is hands down the most luxe I tested. The A5 comes with a list of EQ presets: lounge, party, speech, and more. If you really want to, you can make a custom EQ as well. It works well enough, but it's not needed for this speaker. It sounds lovely unboxed. In addition, the Beosound A5 can play 360 audio or direct the sound toward the front, depending on your EQ preset. Some EQs, like Party, are only available with 360-degree audio, which surprised me. The Beosound A5 still outperformed the competition. It can hit the lower frequencies with ease, and it balanced nicely with the mids and trebles. It sounds good, and some of the funk to Remy Wolf's tracks truly shined across the EQs. This was built to handle all your genres with ease, and the New Yorker Radio Hour episodes showcased well on the speech setting, though I could have easily left it on Party or Lounge, my two preferred EQs. It's also the only speaker I tested that offers a swappable battery. If your battery starts failing, Bang & Olufsen will help you replace it. For those with a focus on sustainability, this is a real boon. Its battery life clocks in at around 12 hours on a medium setting. During testing, I found that was mostly true, but noted that when I turned it up to higher volumes, the battery life does drop. Prior to testing and during my research, while I didn't quite hit these low numbers, some customers commented that they got around 5 hours of battery life. I clocked in around 6 to 7, depending on how high I turned up the volume, and risked angering my neighbors, so mileage varies here. Another cool feature, it offers Qi charging on the top, which is unique in all the speakers I tested. That said, while it's portable, don't expect to take this one on your next beach trip. It's the heaviest speaker I tested. The handle is nice and the speaker holds up well to accidental bumps and scrapes, but I can't imagine taking this outside of my home or backyard patio.